Hello, my Libra Collective. I'm here today to give you your message for August 2025. I hope you enjoy it. Starting off, August 9th, there is a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, but that's really not the significance of this day. What's significant is that Mars will conjunct Neptune and Saturn. This is a cycle that only happens once every 36 years. The cycle lasts about 5 years when it does happen. Last time it happened was 1989, which was the coming down of the Berlin Wall. So think about that. It's kind of one of those things where first you're creative, secondly, you're kind of showing the world who you really are and needing to get out of a feeling of constriction or a feeling in a box. And then you're going to break down a barrier that's been blocking you up to now. It's kind of like, I finally see that this is a problem. I'm going to knock it out. Okay. So this will be something where you can leave relationships, leave careers, move into a different country, kind of like I'm over it kind of energy. Leave a friend group. Just keep that in mind, okay? And so right off the bat, these came out together and then that came out, and we have the scales. This is you, Libra. Keep your life balanced. So your focus is to balance out your life. And one of the things that you want to balance out is this woman. It says dealings in relationship with a woman. And then that woman came with this turkey saying someone is behaving stupidly. So this can be something like August is a I'm done energy. I'm ending a contract, an agreement, a bond with another person. And so the scales of balance are coming into your life, and you'll see it take place starting in this full moon. As a side note, I do have to say that I started this video saying hello, my Virgo collective instead of Libra. So I had to start it all over. So this might have something to do with a person of the sign of Virgo. And then we have this energy of, and this came upside down. So I feel like this goes to the other person, and it feels like fly, a period of ill health and depression. So I feel like when you confront this situation with this female that's behaving stupid, this is going to create a period of depression, sadness, victim mentality. I can't believe you're doing this kind of thing to me kind of energy. So this feels like this female energy was a huge block, and you're just kind of like, I'm over it. I'm over carrying you. I'm over your stupidity. I am over your acting up a fool, and we're just going to cut you out. So tell me, wow, this is really actually a really good thing. The first thing that flies out is the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you're taking your fortune in your own hands and kind of saying, I'm over this shit. That's awesome, Libra. Ooh. And this is the Queen of Cups, and I like it because she's underneath the water. There's so much water around her, but she's covering her cup to make sure that her water doesn't mix with the rest of the water, right? So on this energy, it feels like you're going to feel that all around you, everybody is kind of going crazy and overly emotional and kind of insane. And that's like, you're like, I don't care all your mess and all your ruckus, because this is where I'm seeing this depression in, right? Where the person's like, I can't believe you're leaving me right now. Don't you know I need you? You're abandoning me and I needed you. I just feel like this. I keep feeling this energy of you're abandoning me. Don't you know I need you? How can you be this cruel? What is your problem? Kind of energy. It's kind of like if you're that person's emotional security or something, you're supposed to be taking care of them. Every one of us have to learn how to swim out of this ocean by ourselves. So you're not letting this person's emotions affect your emotions. You're kind of like, this is me and this is all you. So you go with you over there. Wow. I said that, and look at, we have the Two of Wands. You go your way, I go my way, but we're both going two different directions, and we're not going there together. Wow. Four of Swords, and this is going to tie up this person. This is going to kind of like make them revert. They're going to, like, any progress that they've made, anything that they've done going forward, it just turns off. But look at what it does to you. You have the Queen of Wands. It's like the scales. I'm seeing like a complete contrast here. I don't think you can process how much you were carrying from this person. And it's funny because it's one of those things where you think it's just helping them out every once in a while, or yes, they're crying at your shoulder and they're your emotional crutch for a little bit, but that's not a big deal, blah blah blah. So it's kind of one of those things where um you never thought this was affecting you this much until the responsibility of this person, the oppression that this person was putting in you, the cage that you were carrying for this person finally releases you, and you're like, holy crap, like I have so much more energy, I can do so much more stuff, things are so much better. Queen of Swords. And this creates a situation with you where you're stronger, you're more vital, and whatever. But it creates a situation where with them where they are going to be angry and kind of wanting to attack you because how dare you? I want to see a little bit more about their energy because I feel like that's them. Queen of Swords. Mm-hmm. We have the Strength card. This is them fighting the fact that you're leaving. But again, 6 of coins. This is going to balance out. Page of cups, but their actions are going to tie them up in something. They're going to, it's going to pull them down this rabbit hole that they're not expecting, that it's just going to come out of nowhere. The balancing of the scales is that because you've already said that you're done with this, when they retaliate, they're actually retaliating against themselves. It's kind of like stop hitting yourself because it comes right back to them. So I'm just hoping that this person understands after the first whiplash, return to sender kind of energy they receive, um, to leave it alone. But I can't guarantee that because in the bottom of the deck we have the Tower card, and that literally means um, when this shock happens, they're going to be confused. Um, and then we go the World card because it's completed. But then I really think that whoever this woman is, really has that how dare you energy coming off of them. So it's kind of like one of those things where they truly believe it was your responsibility to take care of them, and how dare you leave them. And so keep that in mind. They might retaliate. I would keep myself very strongly prayed up or meditated up. Do your spiritual practice, your cleanses, and all that kind of stuff because this person's going to retaliate. Okay. Second thing is August 22nd, there's a new moon in the sign of Virgo, and also the sun starts lining up with Virgo also. If you think about the sun and the moon together, both on the same sign, is kind of like an eclipse in the Virgo energy. Virgo energy has to do with the 3D world, about organization, about productivity, about like really getting things done and making a plan for your future. The fact that something's eclipsing out, that means that there is going to be a drastic change in your executive functioning skills. So if before you wanted to get things done, but you felt lethargic and tired and blah, 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 and you couldn't do it. And for more that you tried to move forward in whatever new project that you wanted to do, it seemed like you were being dragged down and you couldn't handle it. Honestly, I think it's this energy of this person that was attached to you. But with this change comes that energy of, I got this back. Like I got my power back and I'm more productive and getting things done. So I would actively do something this day that initiates a commencement of something that you're interested in doing. So that being said, you know what? They said on us versus them. So tell me about this, you, Virgo. Lover. Wow. This is crazy. So we have the Lover card first, and it says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of something or someone. And this is like your energy. You're kind of going to be in this, oh my God, my life is so amazing. I'm in love. If it's a relationship, I love this job. I love this new skill I'm learning. I love this new thing I'm doing, blah, 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 right? There's also between you is a blank card. That's interesting because their card shows up as the orphan. And it says here, feeling of, this is so fucking crazy, the feeling of abandonment that stifles maturation, seeking inappropriate sabotage, surrogate family. So it feels like once you leave them, they're just going to try to look for somebody else to fill the void that you just left. So, in other words, they didn't grow up and they were going to live like that the rest of their lives. So they probably gave you a lot of promises. I promise I'm going to do this. I promise I'm going to do that. I promise I'm going to move in this direction. I promise, oh yeah, look at, I did this one little thing to try to move forward in this goal that I have, right? But then they always, oh, I was feeling too tired. Oh, I was too lazy. Oh, my body hurts. And then give you an excuse why they didn't get it done. So then um, it's like they were, I want to say covert narcissists, where they're stringing you along with hopes and dreams, thinking that you're helping them in some way, but you weren't helping them at all because they weren't going to change. And they're just going to try to look for another person, another patsy I just heard like you. And so that's their outcome after this in this Virgo moon. Tell me more about you. Yeah, your intuition's going to be freaking on point. There's something you're going to learn new, something that you're going to move on. Your money situation's going to stop being stuck because the Four of Pentacles in reverse. There was like this, honestly, I feel like this person was like the death energy and around your money. So it's kind of like you felt like you're always in defensive because you never had enough money. And it's because this energy that you were attached to, the stupid woman energy that's here, literally was draining you economically. And it's funny because you didn't need to give this person money. It was just an energy exchange, and money in the spiritual realm can be physical money, which I can tell you really manifests as physical money, but it can also represent time, energy, knowledge, wisdom, things like that. And it affects you. See, this person had you completely stuck. But in this case, because of the stagnant energy, I'm seeing this energy that you're getting back your groove, you're releasing yourself from this death energy in your economics. And I feel like you're blocking them. And I don't think that you're doing anything to block them. I think that you, in the physical realm, I think in the spiritual realm, you might be meeting each other. In the astrals, you guys might be meeting each other, and you and them are in a stalemate. Like, I don't want you over here and you don't come over here. That is your side and this is my side, and we're not going to mix anymore. And here comes the Lover's card again. It showed up a second time because, you're the lover and we have the lover. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. And this one's interesting because it feels something like if you're connecting to somebody new. And I think that's you see, and then we have the Chariot card and the Strength card. And it's coming quickly and strongly towards you. I feel like you're going to establish a new connection with a second person that is no longer like this person, except they don't present themselves yet. It's still very hidden. Can you tell me about the hidden person a little bit? I had just heard no. Yeah, you see, Hangman with the Page of Wands. Literally, it's like, no, we can't tell you anything about that person. It's part of your journey. You're going to go in this movement forward, and they're going to come into your life, and then you're going to realize that strong connection and bond between you and that second person. So somebody new is coming into your life, and this new person is going to be a very strong influence towards your future. And I said they're strong first, and they're coming in strongly, okay, into your life. So I'm hearing that song. I came in like a dark horse. Wow, that's anyways. A strong force, a dark horse. That made me kind of dizzy. Let me not get involved in that one because it's like something else is coming and it's stronger. And it's something I feel like it's going to be very beneficial for you because there's a lot of major arcanas here. Second, them. Let me find out a little bit about them because since I felt that the us versus them energy they told me to do work. What about work? Emperor in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse. Three of Swords, and this one's when the swords come out. King of Wands. Okay, let me tell you something. This person, they're going to hide and work. And they're actually connecting to a masculine energy that presents themselves like a strong person, somebody that can really help them out in different ways and whatever. And they feel like, oh, see, now I found my soul family. These people aren't going to abandon me. And they feel like they're removing all the swords from their back that you put them because you were so cruel. But it's an emperor in reverse. This is like signing, it feels like signing a contract with, um, signing a contract with something worse, like something worse than what they are. Okay. Because I feel like they're going to get a dose of their own medicine, but this thing they're going to get the dose of is so much worse than them. Like, because they present themselves as an orphan, a child orphan, and that's a page energy. And this is the energy that they ended up to. And this is what I'm saying with the page of cups and the going down the rabbit hole. I feel like they're going to connect to this person that's so much worse than they are because they have the same tricks that they do, but they're an emperor in reverse. They're not a page. So, you know, sometimes the best way for a person to learn a lesson is to have that lesson, I mean, their own actions mirrored back to them. Um, Except I think that this person did to this to more people, not only yourself, because they're going to get a person that's a lot worse than what they were. So it seems like that whatever they did to you is going to be multiplied and like tenfold or more, and it's going to hit them. Um, and I think it's like a karmic lesson. You know, it's kind of like I done told people this is not the time to mess around, especially with um, Neptune and um, Neptune and Saturn playing games with Aries, which is the Emperor energy. Mm, it's kind of like it can reveal the ugliest parts of people. I really don't want you to feel responsible for whatever happens to this person, just in case you are feeling a little bit of sympathy for them. Because some people learn because you teach them or they listen to sound advice. And some people learn because they get their ass whooped. And this person got a lot of opportunities to change and didn't want to continue their unhealthy patterns. And I feel like it's time for them to get their ass whooped. And I heard 15 years of getting their ass whooped. That's a big time. Last thing I want to talk about is August 25th to September 19th. Venus will enter the sign of Leo. Usually during this period of time is when a person starts reclaiming a part of themselves that they have lost, right? I feel like your lion's mane is getting really big and you're showing the world, oh my God, look at how amazing I am, you know. And like your lust for life comes back and your desire for yourself to look pretty and to feel wonderful and to take care of yourself, but also like to show the world how pretty you are is and how strong you are and how authentic you are, whatever, it comes forth really strongly during this time. So I think it's a very good time, especially with breaking down those walls and whatever. It's kind of like, oh, when you're like feeling restricted for a long period of time and then let it go and you're like, oh my God, it hurts so good to let that out of my, from that bind from my arm. Kind of like that, okay? I want to see how it's going to affect you, Libra. Oh, this is weird. So we have first the card 6 saying not for you. The seven, which says to the sea. And the third is regeneration. This feels like you might experience a little bit of a disappointment. The disappointment has to do with something that you're going to go for. And I think the reason why it's a no, it's not a no. I know that sounds weird, but it's not a no. It's a no, not right now, because you're in a period of regeneration, like you're coming back to life, if that makes sense. Let's see. Why do we see this? Because this is, yeah, see, you just dug yourself out of the grave. We have the Ace of Swords in this triumphant success. And we have stand your ground, 7 of Wands, kind of saying this is when you have to like stand in your power, deflect things that no longer serve you, etc., etc. And then we have victory. I feel like 6 of Wands. You know what it is? It's you're going the wrong direction in something. Like there's something that you might be interested in starting or doing, that you might feel like it's authentically you, and it feels like it's coming up around that end of August, early September. You're going to receive roadblocks, and the reason you're receiving those roadblocks is because it's not for you. But you will receive victory, and you will receive material wealth, okay? Because we do have the 9 of Pentacles. But you're going to be suffering. This is the 9 of Cups. Why are you suffering? Because you can't see the third eye. You can't see why this is happening. This is interesting because we got 66 and 99 on here. 6699. And it's like, tell me a little bit more about this. Sacral space. It was something you were hoping to create that you're sad about. 3 of Swords. And number 19, the light. I looked something up real quick. The light is sun. It's the sun in this deck. So tell me more. We have the card of fulfilling wishes, and we have the heart chakra. You know what? I'm wrong. See, this is why I'm doing more cards, because I'm like, the energy felt off, and we have the card of temptation, a desire. Okay. I'm okay to say I'm wrong here. And then we have moving on in the 6, the bottom of the deck. So what I'm seeing is that the 25th to the September 19th, there was something you were rejected from, right? There was something that people told you it's not for you. And you were really sad moving in that direction because you felt like that's not fair. I don't understand why I couldn't get this. There was injustice there or whatever. But then you just kind of like, though it created like a sadness in your heart or whatever, you're kind of like, okay, I'm just going to move on because it is what it is. Okay. Sometimes things are not for you, right? But this period is a period of regeneration. And where you thought you were not going to be able to give fruit to something, you weren't able to create it, or you weren't going to be able to manifest this, or you weren't going to be able to do something, there's something that shifts there. It's kind of like we have the Ace of Swords, which is you came out of that pit of darkness. You finally dug yourself out of your grave, and you were victorious and triumph in that. But then it's kind of like you had to stand your ground. You had to get strong enough to be able um to manifest this thing that you want to create. Okay. And this is maybe in the future. That this is going to be happening. Like, I'm giving you periods of time, but it can extend, or this is, I'm telling you about the past and how it's going to progress going forward. And it feels like this energy of you had to like get yourself back in your feet. And the Seven of Wands is like defending yourself, getting yourself strong, standing your ground, being strong within yourself. And that standing your ground became victorious. So this this card of 7 that says to the sea was actually you regaining your strength, your confidence, your assurance, your health, your vitality that you lost from this thing that was like a no. And that came into fruition. You became healthier. And though you're healthier and things are starting to manifest well for you, and you're getting this Nine of Pentacles energy, you have this energy still lingering in the back of your heart, which is the Nine of Swords, where in the back of your mind, maybe when you're going to go to sleep at night or whatever, you're like, I wish that would have worked out for me, or I wish that would have manifested. I really think that it would have been good for me. And it's because you can't see. What you can see is that first, there was the creation that you were trying to create that created you sadness. It is in its work to come towards you. The sun is still there. The sun is still shining there. There's still a potential for this to come into your life. And then that wish that you were making with the Nine of Cups, with your full heart, with your full intention, it's like you're calling it, it feels like a Care Bear stare. I don't know. I'm an 80s baby, but Care Bears, they used to say Care Bear stare, and whatever imprint they had in their belly, like floated out into the universe. It kind of feels like that, like you're calling it towards you because you desire it with so much veracity. And that's the card of the Devil, the desire. Like you're calling it into existence, even though it didn't work out the first time, even though things didn't manifest the way that you wanted. And this is not a person, this is something that you wanted to create, right? Something that you wanted to manifest. This doesn't feel like a relationship. This feels like a deep desire in your soul that you knew you were supposed to do this and you were never able to do it. And this is the time where you're calling it into your existence. This one was interesting because it felt very confused, but I do have the third eye here. So I think the confusion is not only in the cards and in my interpretation, but also in you. Like you got to the point where you're like, it is what it is. I'm not going to have this, and I'm just going to accept it because it's just the way things are. And it's like, no, because that really small voice inside you that kept saying, but I wish, but I wish, but I wish, it's literally being heard, and it's really, really going to manifest the access of you being able to get what you want. I feel like you've moved on from creating this connection that you were thinking that you wanted to create, but but without you knowing, Six of Pentacles, the universe is kind of balancing this out with, and I think that there's something in a foundation inside of yourself that is strong, powerfully starting to create this into reality for yourself. And it's going to open a door that you weren't even aware. Like, but when you stop wishing for something and you're just like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep moving forward because everything's going to be fine. And then all of a sudden, what you wished for 1,000 years ago that you thought you were never going to get, all of a sudden, like, appears in front of your door. That's what kind of I'm feeling is going to happen around this August to September time. It's kind of like, holy shit, I forgot that I wanted this. Or, oh my God, I thought I was never going to get this. And it just happens. But I think there was like a need for you to heal, a need for you to recuperate, a need for you to gather the information you needed. I don't know what it is, but you needed something before you can get what you wanted. And now it seems like all the work that you did helped you acquire what it is that you wanted. I hope you understand, and we'll see you the next time.